Welcome to our poster session on climate and health initiatives in small island developing states, in which we will be looking at NGO participation in UN processes. My name is Natascha Kersting, and I will be presenting together with Rebecca Gilman. Human activities since the beginning of the industrial era have resulted in the warming of our planet's atmosphere, ocean, and land. Small island developing states, such as in the Caribbean, are particularly vulnerable to climate change impacts. Higher risks of droughts, hurricanes, and wildfires, and rising sea levels are just some of the threats. These go hand in hand with health issues, such as respiratory illnesses, communicable and non-communicable diseases, and food insecurity. Many NGOs have become powerful advocates for our planet and for communities affected by global warming. Climate change is a global problem, yet the main contributors are wealthy industrialized nations. As such, it is the right and responsibility of specially affected states, such as small island developing states, to make their voices heard. One forum to do so is the United Nations as a major venue for international decision-making. While the main actors in the UN have traditionally been states, many of the UN's main and subsidiary bodies permit NGO participation in different forms. Our research highlights opportunities for NGO participation in UN institutions related to climate and health. We identify best practices of UN NGO collaborative programs related to climate and health, particularly in the Caribbean. Finally, we provide policy recommendations for targeted and successful participation of Caribbean NGOs related to climate and health in UN processes.
We first conducted a literature review of UN institutions. We then mapped the rules of procedure for NGO participation for these institutions and developed a taxonomy of potential modes of NGO participation in UN processes. We then identified significant UN NGO climate and health initiatives in the Caribbean and in the Pacific. We conducted SWOT analyses of these initiatives, comparing programmatic strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Based on this data, we developed concrete policy recommendations for climate and health NGOs in the Caribbean. These charts summarize the two SWOT analyses. Climate and health initiatives are well developed and well coordinated at the national level in the Caribbean. UN collaborative response via extensive development plans are well established, although there remains weak coordination and integration of regional and national SDG programs. In contrast, the Pacific Islands have implemented stronger regional initiatives as well as various successful SDG frameworks. Strategic planning can be broadly explained by differences in regional capacities to successfully achieve SDGs in general. It makes sense, for instance, that wealthier economies in the Caribbean can adequately support individual national initiatives. In contrast, individual Pacific Islands have far fewer resources to address developmental challenges, and indeed benefit from highly coordinated regional strategies, which allow them to share knowledge, resources, and best practices with ease, while at the same time alleviating financial burdens from individual governments. In summary, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to best addressing climate and health challenges. Strategic decisions must be made with consideration to regional capacity, to determine how to best use limited resources to support the successful, sustainable implementation of future initiatives. First, we recommend enhanced collaboration and integrated SDG programming in the Caribbean to increase the overall success of SDG strategy in the region. Aspects of the highly coordinated and integrated Pacific region framework could potentially be adapted to fit within existing Caribbean frameworks to increase program efficacy, for example. Second, adaptation and integration of regional level strategies with national initiatives could further enhance the success of Caribbean national level initiatives. It could be advantageous to build upon this existing very strong foundation of national projects by implementing more coordinated regional projects designed to enhance existing project structures. Finally, we recommend development of initiatives to address the complex health impacts of climate change on vulnerable coastal populations, including mental, physical, and social health. In addressing multiple aspects of health and wellness, communities could become more resilient and better able to cope with the inevitable negative impacts of climate change, health-related or otherwise.
Thank you very much for your interest and participation.